So, timestamps exist in case you just want to skip forward as always, but there's not really much else to say aside from a daily a daily sale that may appear, because I have yet to do anything today yet. But yeah, 1 Tokai Teio run and 2 gold ship runs. So, if I can find the actual Tokai Teio that I use, because I completely forget, yeah, that would be nice. Is it really Sprint B? I thought I had a Sprint A. I'm going absolutely insane, I think. Yeah, I think I am. So, why have I not found this out yet? Well, either way, out of curiosity, I don't think that. Oh, it does count. Well, hey, we'll see. No, I don't, because it has to be at A. So, without further ado, I guess we do just stick with the Tokai Teio that we have. That's at B Sprint Aptitude. You lose quite a bit of speed if you didn't already know, but again, we'll do our best with what we've got. So, I don't think she's even carroted. Why did I not favorite carrot this Tokai Teio? Oh my goodness, floundering around! And that's why this is why timestamps exist. But otherwise, yeah, as we pick Tokai Teio here, this is the Tokai Teio we're using. This is the Tokai Teio we're using. Oh my goodness, can you show me the card? Again, nothing too spectacular. In fact, this is less than I'd want it to be at, especially with B Sprint Aptitude, but it's the only thing we get if I want to throw in some variety to the mix. Because I think the best I have is 6-star Sprint overall. Question mark? Yeah, wait, question mark? Well, either way, we'll do our best. So, we're already at great, don't need to parfait, although I've been using a few parfaits here and there. Yeah, not really much to look at here. So, without further ado, let's just get into the race. But otherwise, as you've seen on the very beginning of this video, my carrot account slowly getting carrots back. Obviously, the weekly reset happened, and we are doing our best to survive. But if we don't survive, well, hey, there's only so much I can do, especially with things happening. But that's another thing, and I'm going to leave things vague there as we start this race and move on. And we get a late start to start, but, well, I wasn't actually looking. There are some little micromanagement things I've done during the training, but really and by that I just mean selecting a different position if you have an A aptitude in it. As for the distance, that should just be handled by Sparks or really just luck on Sparks in the Classic and Senior year, but I'm just here hoping. Yeah, this is definitely behind all the pace chases, I feel, so hope Tokai Teio finds her way out, because if she doesn't, we're certainly losing this. If we do, it would be nice, but yeah, as we approach the final leg here and into the final spurt immediately, yeah, it would be great, but I don't know if we're going to be able to catch up, especially if we don't get to the placement we need to proc Teio step, but it's not going to happen. Nope, we're stuck. 1, we're stuck, and 2, we can't break out, but we're definitely stuck. See that line? I call it the linebacker pace chasers, because anyone above you, even if you're a pace chaser yourself, if you're behind all the rest of the pace chasers, yeah, as it turns out, you're going to get blocked, because there's a line of pace chasers all trying to find their way out, and that's why I describe it that way. So we'll do this shop, just so I can get more sailors in, but otherwise, yeah, over to Gold Ship we go. In fact, I'm even going to pop another... No, we're not going to do that. Who am I kidding? Actually, should have bought parfaits there, since I am running a bit low, but I'm not going to do it every time I run into a daily sale. Maybe like once or twice a day. Twice is already a lot as well, but again, trying to fill time as I get to Gold Ship. Which I never remember where she is. Yeah, it's this one. So, I didn't show you the thing. I'll show you in the third race, before the third race, if I remember. But if I don't, well, we'll do our best. Oh my goodness. We'll stay with awful. We've already won the race. We've already won the race with Gold Ship specifically, if I wanted to bring the details there. But otherwise, we'll see what happens. So, yeah, as we get into this race, more power would be appreciated. Can go less speed, but obviously at a certain point, as we get into this timestamp here, you want 1200 speed, 1200 power. And then, yeah, you want 1200 speed, 1200 power. But if you had to sacrifice one or the other, depends on your strategy. For end closers, I would prefer more. I would prefer to lower my speed by 100 to get my power to 1200. Otherwise, if say I were a pace chaser or a front runner, I would want the speed to be at 1200 and power to be at 1100. But really, in any position, you want both to be as high as can be. Now, obviously, the complexity comes when you need to add in stamina, guts and wits, especially when those become more prevalent, especially guts, but wits as well, for when you have downhills or just want to reduce randomization. And by that, I mean position keeping. That's really what the term is called. But as we get into this here, yeah, Sakura Bakushin is probably going to pull forward ahead. The question is if Gold Ship breaks out. The answer is no. This is not fast. We're not breaking out fast enough. In fact, Nishino Flower in front, Generics to the side. Is that Biko Pegasus on the left lane aside? So even if our Gold Ship went left, yeah, Biko Pegasus was in the way. So, again, to go over it again, just in case there's anyone new here and hasn't watched any other trainers and or seen any other sources online, you are essentially limited by the stats of whoever's blocking you. Shrug. But this is the Gold Ship here that we're using. Nothing too amazing, actually, especially with wits being this low. Really, an extra 300 wits would help out. This Legend Race specifically has a downhill in which you can immediately get a speed bonus, which helps with position keeping, essentially. Because the faster you go, even if your Oooo Musume ends up slowing down to try and keep in the right position, if for no other reason than your HP consumption, which isn't normally something you want to consider, but if you've really been maxing and just kind of throwing things to RNG, you could lower your stamina and increase your other stats. But with these stats, we should be able to win. I think the biggest factor on top of just being blocked, but I think it's also a factor in being blocked, is the wit stat. Again, that involves with position keeping properly. And really, it's the fluctuation of speed that your Oooo Musume has during the first 66% of a race. So, yeah, with lower wits, the fluctuation can become a lot worse. Your Oooo Musume can slow down a lot more, but with greater wits, that slowdown can be reduced drastically in terms of randomness in her speed. And it can also increase her speed. So that's... Again, that's why that's a part of position keeping and not being blocked, because the faster you go, your Oooo Musume can speed up past anyone who is not who is blocking you, essentially. And then higher power allows you to accelerate faster because other girls are also accelerating with their power value, so that's a thing. So as we get into the final spurt here again, it looks like Gold Ship is trying to weave through the inside, but she's blocked now, so unless she breaks out, we're going to see the same thing happen again. Nope, we're blocked. I can see it happening because we're getting slowed down. Now she's breaking out finally, but it might be a bit too late here, especially if we haven't hit our max speed. In fact, we even might lose the Biko Pegasus here. But yeah, I'm working through the inside. While it can work, I don't often see it worked. You're often seeing Oooo Musume swing to the outside to speed up if you're a late surger or end closer, from what I've seen. Again, it's not impossible from the inside, but yeah, not enough. Are just unlucky enough to not find a way to break through. But yeah, without further ado, not really anything much to say. We could grab those rewards, but we'll grab them afterward after the video ends. So if you have anything to say, any questions, comments, criticisms, please let me know. I'll usually try to respond unless there's nothing to respond to, because I just tilt my head and go, yeah, there's not really much else to say. But otherwise, thank you for watching. I'm not going to take up much more of your time. Bye!